Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I think we are live. Can somebody just drop something in the chat so we can see that if we're working, if we're actually live. Let me double check on YouTube as well. You never know with these things.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If you look at comments, you can see all the people in there. Yeah. Cool.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, if it's working, we can start. I mean, obviously people are going to be joining in, but it's fine. It's fine. Essentially, what we're going to be doing today is a little behind the scenes of how we run Double Jump. I have a little presentation. And then we have Ava and Rod joining us for the first time, which is, it's crazy.
You should all feel lucky.
Yeah, this is a special event. Essentially, as of right now, we are the core team at Double Jump. We are all full-time. We also have John, who's our editor. And obviously, we have all the instructors and Corbin and all. That's the broader team. But us three, are essentially running Double Jump right now. And you probably saw Ava and Rod on Discords, and Ava is doing a lot of customer support as well. But you guys probably don't know all the other tasks and work that goes into running Double Jump. So Rod's gonna show us a bit of not behind the scenes, kind of like sneak peeks for our future workshops. There's quite a few that we have in production. So Rod is the main producer of all the workshops now. I try to help a bit. That was previously my job. Now Rod is the head of production. So we have a lot of cool clips and kind of work in progress from our instructors. I think we have roughly 20 workshops in production. That's obviously can change drastically yes. And that's one of the things we're going to be touching upon is like, how do we work with instructors? How does the process look like? Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's difficult. And we have everything in between. And then Ava's going to show us a bit about how she designed the website. She also built the website in Webflow. And then there's a lot of crazy Figma boards that she's going to be showing us. And yeah, some other fun things. So I think I'll start with my presentation and we're going to kind of go from there. Awesome. Can you all see my screen?
I can. I don't know if I count though.
Probably if you can, then it should be working, right? Someone said, "Hey Rod, you're my favorite person at DGA."
I don't see that. Did they say that?
Yeah.
I need to screen capture that and I'll frame it and put it on my wall behind me.
I think you should. All right, sweet. Okay, so this is essentially what we're going to be going through. It's essentially our second birthday, and we started Double Jump literally at this time. I had to renew our domain this year, like last week. So I know that's when our birthday actually is, when I have to renew the domain. Like I said, we're going to show some BTS, future plans for Double Jump. And I'm also going to share what went right this year, and all the things that we did wrong. And hopefully we're going to have some fun. All right, first the good. We released quite a few workshops and tutorials. I think, Rod, you said, was it 8 workshops or 9 workshops in total, right?
No, I think you're cutting me off at the knees. I think it was was it 12? I don't know. I have to check the Discord.
Yeah, or 12.
Yeah.
And a few tutorials. But
Yeah.
a lot of the workshops, and again, we're going to talk about this, that were supposed to come out this year are going to be delayed / moved to next year because it takes so long to do a workshop, and sometimes it's extremely hard. Like some of the workshops, the one we just released for lighting and rendering in Houdini, took like a year and maybe a bit more. The workshop from the flip workshop with the ship that we released also took more, I think, a year and a half of development. Obviously not full time, but these people are working in studios. So it happens that, we're like, okay, so next month we're going to release a workshop. And they're like, yes, next month. And then they get an emergency project in and they're like, oops, it's going to take, I can probably start working on this in 6 months, right? This happens a lot. So we don't have control over that. We kind of redesigned the whole website. Eva is always changing the designs, updating it, but we did like quite a big shift from last year to this year. Most of you guys probably didn't even notice it, but we were iterating quite a bit. We hired Rod full time, and Rod is just a superstar. Like we wouldn't be able to run DoubleJump without Rod. And we're gonna partner up. Well, we partner up with a very exciting person that does very exciting things, but I don't want
Very exciting.
Very, very super exciting. That's going to be for next year. And we're going to do a proper announcement, and we're going to be doing very exciting things with that very exciting person.
Excellent.
I got accepted into the Visual Effects Society, so I'm officially a member.
Yay.
And I'm also a judge. So
watch out.
I'm going to be, this is kind of like the Oscars for visual effects. And we all get to check out we have to check out all the movies, and obviously we have to check out all the behind the scenes and stuff like that, all the breakdowns that are usually not online, which is a shame because there's like amazing breakdowns that I think should be public, but I think it's gonna be very cool. I'm excited, so that I can contribute to the visual effects in this way as well. Moving on. The bad. What did we fuck up? We did a lot of things wrong, but obviously, like my main motto in life is fail forward fast. Because honestly, it's all about iterations. It's like working in Houdini. You just have to go through a lot of setups really fast, break a lot of things until you actually arrive at a setup that works. So it's just a lot of trial and error. The major, I think, things we got wrong was, and it's so funny, it was my workshop and Corbin's workshop, because the scope was too big. We bit off more than we could chew. We were so enthusiastic. We were like, we're going to make the best, biggest, most badass workshop. And I think we did, and when it's going to be finished, it's all going to be good. It's almost like, I think a lot of people were saying, oh, it's like Cyberpunk all over again. And I was like, yes, but Cyberpunk is an awesome game right now. It wasn't at launch, but now it's awesome. And our workshops, when all completed, are going to be awesome as well. So I have a little story about this, like why is the Ultimate Explosion workshop still not finished? We are going to finish it. The deadline right now is 18th of this month. That's when we should be releasing the last two big weeks. And then there's just like a fire module and some bits and pieces that I need to finish. But in general, by the end of this year, the Ultimate Explosion workshop will be finished. Film effects is almost done. Corbin recorded, I don't even know how many hours, but it's definitely around, 100 hours of recordings, which is absolutely insane. Like, it's gonna take you a whole year to go through that whole workshop. It's a full-on university for visual effects. And then Jordan Allen for Unlocking the Magic of Houdini also took like a year, but he finished. It's fully finished, at least until Houdini 22, 23 comes out. Then we might need to do a few updates along the way. But for now, it's good.
I already asked him what his next workshop was, and he said sleep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be a bit, but we'll get him to do another one. So
yes, 100%. He's great. He's one of the best instructors, and his workshop, I think, is the most complete intro to Houdini workshop on the planet. Honestly, it's the best one.
And it's entertaining, that's a hard mix to do.
No,
to be educational and entertaining. That's really tough.
It's overall best workshop, I think. So why didn't we finish the Ultimate Explosion workshop on time? And this is kind of, long story short, essentially, it took us, I think, 7 or 8 months to do just the assets to create all the scenes, right? So we looked at a lot of shots from ILM and Veda and all of these big movies, and we were like, we're recreating that. And I think we did. We almost got the quality 1-to-1. And we also were developing the Master Exploder tools, which also took like 6 months of Corbin's time to develop, to like put all of my setups into like a proper HDA. So much work, right? Just before we even started the recording. And then after we started the recordings, this is so stupid. Me and Ava went to a music festival in the UK. It's called Download. And we were there for 3 days. It was raining. There was mud everywhere. It was a complete shit show. And we were walking there, essentially standing for 3 days straight, listening to music. And after that festival, my lower back, my mid back started hurting, but not just like a bit. It started hurting so much that I wasn't able to walk. Like honestly, like my body completely tensed up. I wasn't able to put my socks on. Like literally, I was not able to do this at all. Like my body was completely like just like almost like all my muscles were tensed up all the time. And it was like that for 3 to 4 months. Like I thought I'm gonna die. Like I was like, it's probably cancer. I'm dead. That's what I was. My mental state was going down like rapidly. I did all the physiotherapy. I did, the acupunctures. I did anything. I even hired like an online coach for stretching. Nothing was actually improving the situation. It was insane. And that was literally when we released the workshop trailer, and that's when I was supposed to start recording the workshop, right? So it took like 3-4 months, and actually the thing that made it go kind of away was me and Ava went to Korea, and we were there for like 2 weeks, it was like before Korea, I don't remember. Singapore, Korea, yeah. And we were just walking for 2 weeks, and I could barely walk, but I was kind of brute forcing it. But essentially walking for 2 weeks kind of fixed it a bit. And then I got into started gymming. So I was really ripped at the time. But see, even on this picture, I couldn't bend at all. So I was gymming, I was running, but it was still very, very painful. But at least I could walk like a bit. And even running helped, but the first like 15 minutes before you start running was pure hell because my muscles were like so tense. But if you just brute force it, like I was able to stretch it a bit, at least to the point where I was able to run. But I got ripped. I was really buffed because that was the only thing that I thought is going to help overcome this freaking situation of this lower back issue. And then it got better for like probably 2 months. And then we went to a restaurant and the seats were very low, like almost like couch seats. And the table was very low. And we were eating there for like 20, 30 minutes. And I was kind of hunched forward like this, eating. And when we got up, I felt it in my back again. Like it was like a weird feeling, right? I was like, it's probably nothing. It's fine. Like it's fixed. It should be fixed now, right? And then over the next week, it literally went back and the whole thing repeated again. I wasn't able to walk. I wasn't able to put my socks on. I was like, okay, I'm dying again. It's probably like a reoccurring thing that I don't know if I'm gonna ever fix. And that took another 3 months before it got better. So essentially that's like one of the things, right? Why we weren't able to finish the recordings. Luckily, Ayush stepped in and he started recording and kind of saved the workshop in that way. But yeah, it was a really pretty bad time and really bad timing in general. But yeah, now I think we are really close to finishing. I can walk. My back is fine. I don't know. It just took like a year almost that it healed back up. I still feel it. Like I don't think it's ever going to be the same, but it's a bit better. So yeah, we're finishing. It's going to be good. I think we're going to keep working on it and adding new things and updates. So everybody's happy in the end. But yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone for waiting and being patient, but it wasn't fun. it was a very painful road getting here, but it's okay now, I think. So like I said, 18th of December, I think that's when we're going to finish. That's the date, right, Rod? That's the schedule, right?
That's what I was told. So
Yeah.
That's what I go by. Yeah, I mean, we're trying. Ayush also, he has a full-time gig, so
Yeah.
it's, we try to balance everything. But yeah, I said in the Discord that we would get it done by the end of the year, so I'm doing my best to stand by that.
Yeah. So then I think after I'm done, after the explosion is done, Corbin has a few more modules, and then all 3 are going to be done soonish. But these are our flagship workshops that it just takes a long ass time. And we're going to talk later with Rod, like why it takes so long and how difficult it actually is to record like a workshop of this scale. But yeah, once it's done, it's a good feeling. And I think these are really, really good workshops with a lot of super valuable material. Next up, why is the picture not loading? Here we go. I opened a studio. It's a proper studio. That's one of the reasons also, because last year when all these studios were going down, I kind of made a prediction. I did a post on LinkedIn. I was like, are you guys, like all the producers, are you just going to start forming smaller studios? Because that's what I would do, right? Because Axis was going down, MPC was going down, The Mill, Technicolor, but all of these studios had projects. There is a lot of projects actually out there, guys, because we have projects. I was getting asked to do so much freelance work that I was like, I'm just going to open a studio.
Well, can I cut in real quick?
Yeah.
So one of the things that bothers me a lot is when people get on, especially on LinkedIn, because that's like a breeding ground for like fear and things like that. Yep. Fear about AI, fear about the job market, VFX industry. Yep. I don't want to get into an AI tangent, but what you guys should look for is if we start producing a ton of workshops every month, that will be your indicator that the industry is going down, because that means all of these guys that I reach out to have all the time in their hands, which is not the case.
Which is not the case.
I fight constantly. We'll go over this again, but with schedules, babies, all kinds of stuff. So yeah.
Babies.
Yeah.
People getting hit by cars.
Babies are my worst enemy. But but yeah. So if there's not what's the word I'm looking for? There's not like a shortage of jobs. It's if your work is good, you will get hired, and then I will bug you to do a workshop with us.
100%. And funny enough, we are right now doing a test for a really, really big studio, for a really, really big project. And I know there's multiple big projects right now in the industry, and I'm having a hard time getting people, like, because I need to hire more people right now. Obviously, like, I'm looking for seniors. So yes, juniors will still have a harder time getting in the industry right now. It's not as it was 5 years ago. It's for sure harder. But I'm having everybody that I know that I want to hire right now is already booked. And I know a lot of people in the industry. So it's what Rod said. And I just wanted to add that, yeah, there is a lot of cool projects currently. So yeah, I essentially opened the studio with really great people. It's mostly the people who helped me with my, who also worked on the Ultimate Explosions workshop. So, it's a really good team of people, and we're currently working, and hopefully we're gonna do a lot of work on a really cool project. So we did a lot of cool stuff already. Let me actually pull up we have a website that Ava made. So you can check it out, Crispy Chicken Studio. There's a lot of stuff that we did from the Ultimate Explosions workshop because they're cool. But we also have worked on Project Marathon with Alberto Mielgo. I always freaking
It's
pronounce
tough.
the names.
Oh, the names are tough. Not everybody's is as easy as mine.
Yeah. Alberto is great. He's the director of a few Love, That and Robot cinematics, the Witness, and the cool ones that everybody is constantly looking at. It was a really cool project. Yeah.
Lady with the coins.
Yeah. So we did a ton of work on that cinematic. It was a full-on, almost like a short film. I think 6 or 7 minutes long. Pretty cool. We also just finished another kind of AAA cinematic with Studio Hydra, and we also worked on a movie called Primitive War. So we are already doing work. Essentially, we were doing work before I even announced that we have a studio. But us getting a lot of work just proved that this is completely valid for us to open a studio. Like we were kind of working in incognito mode, but then I was like, let's just announce it. So yeah, Eva made the website. It's pretty cool. I thought this was fun, but essentially everybody who works with us is gonna get a cool t-shirt. Like I designed, I think 20 different t-shirts I even did like 5 different logos for the studio. And I was like, I like all the logos. So I was like, let's put it on a shirt and everybody who works with us is gonna get a free shirt. I thought it was cool. So this is the team.
I still want my shirt.
Yeah, I know. You'll get one. There's also a special golden nugget here. So if you click on that, let's see if this breaks. Ooh. So there's like a mini game here, and you need to find the golden nugget. So I thought Ava did all of this. She's crazy. Okay, let's continue. Yes, we are looking for more people right now. I'm looking for 2 to 3 kind of senior artists who are really good with magic effects for a very cool cinematic that requires a lot of magical effects. So get in touch if that's you. We're playing with this idea. We're kind of soft announcing it here for you guys, but I really want to do DoubleJump VFX Awards. So essentially, it's kind of like the Steam Game Awards or like the Video Game Awards or kind of like the VES Awards, but for us at DoubleJump, for our community, where you guys, like literally the community, is going to vote, and we're going to create categories: best effects in a movie, best effects in a series, best, all the categories that would make sense for VFX and CGI. And I just want to make a cool kind of award ceremony where we do this like at the end of the year, and we all gather, and just everybody's going to be pitching in their suggestions, and then we're going to do a vote. And I already designed the trophies. So it's going to be 2 kangaroos, double jump. I thought it was a cool thing, kind of iconic. Why is this picture not loading?
It's also got that like standing on the shoulders of others vibe, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a team. You need to help it's a team sport. I don't know why these pictures are not loading. It's crazy. Anyway, but yeah, that's the main trophy. At least that's the first version of it. But yeah, that's what I want to do. And this is kind of like a soft announcement, but I think maybe if we can manage, we might even do this for the end of this year. Yeah. So we would have our DoubleJump VFX awards at the end of December, or maybe end of January. We'll see. It also depends how busy I'm going to be with Crispy Chicken.
And we've got workshops to release.
And so many workshops, and just and then the DoubleJump World Cup, which is our 3D challenges. We really want to get that going, and the goal is still the same. We would have like 3 or 4 major challenges throughout the year, with hopefully good, rewards, and like first, second, third place kind of winners should get some money and a bunch of our workshops, and hopefully we get some sponsors as well. That's still in the work. But again, I wasn't mentally and physically able to actually make it into a reality for 2025. Well, okay, that's all for me in my kind of monologue. And right now, I'm gonna hand it over to Ava, so she's gonna show us a bit of the behind the scenes of what she's doing at DoubleJump.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Eva. So basically what I'm doing the websites, designs, newsletters, social media, sometimes customer support. Rod has been lately helping me a lot with customer support. So yeah, thank you, Rod. A quick shout out to Rod.
Yay.
Yeah. Super excited to share you some behind the scenes of what we've been doing. Urban, if you can share my...
Oh yeah, sorry.
My window so I can show and tell.
This one?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Urban mentioned that I did a lot of designs for website. Quickly, this is my Figma file. If you're not familiar, Figma is basically like a program where you can make designs. Figma is not made to have that many designs on one board. As you can see, I have also other pages here. But if you can zoom in, you can see that I was making a lot of designs. So when we started DoubleJump, I was not doing web design or development, so I have to learn everything on the go. It was basically, we need website, Eva. So I was like, okay, I think I can do this. So yeah, we did a lot of designs. As you can see, we went through a lot of iterations. If you've been with us from the beginning, you maybe remember website being a bit different and very laggy, and some things were not correctly done, but I'm learning along the way. So I hope the user experience is getting better. Yeah, this is just a quick what we've been doing. Yeah. And I also made a newspaper, DoubleJump newspaper. I made the designs, and we found a printing company in London who still makes like newspapers, so we print them. We did t-shirts, so for every Legendary and Supreme workshop, you get a t-shirt, and we ship it to you. So we order I think 700 t-shirts, and yeah, I hand packed them all, made all the labels, made all the the import documents because we were sending them basically all over the planet. So yeah, we were me and Urban when having those heavy bags of packages just going to the post office and ship them. And yeah, when we are starting to get pictures back from you all who received the t-shirts, I was so happy, and just that you guys got it from all over the world. It was really amazing feeling. And just to add, every t-shirt was made by different artists, also instructors. They give us a reference what they wanted. For example, for Corbin, he really likes the kind of metal style of t-shirts, band metal bands, and he wanted a wizard. So yeah, we hired for every workshop an artist to do original design, and we printed them and shipped them.
No AI.
Yeah. Yeah. Rod, what do you want us to say?
I said no AI was used in the making of the shirts.
No AI. Yes, no AI. And yeah, super cool. the results were amazing. But sometimes the t-shirts came back. Either post office rejects them and we don't know why. And like one day I remembered, this is a screenshot from a video. Urban was filming me. I was really sad that day, but we got t-shirts back, and you can say, oh, just ship it again. The problem was the post office, they put a sticker on top of the who we wanted to send it to, so we couldn't find out which were rejected and which were sent out. So it was a nightmare. But yeah, we keep on going. We're still finding a solution to bring the shop and merch back again. Yeah, it's gonna happen. We're gonna find a solution. And another thing that we did, we also hosted in-person community event in London. That was super fun. I wish we would do this more when we were there, but yeah, it's so crazy because it's so much work we have to do, and yeah, I wish we'd done more. We should have done more.
Yeah.
And yeah, we also attended FMX last year. Not last year. Wait, it was last year? It was, yeah, last year. Yeah. So I also made like a banners for it, some merch. Urban and Corbin did the presentation there. That was also super fun. And yeah, we were handing out. Oh, I don't know if you can hear, but we were handing out free newspaper and pins and stickers and T-shirts, and we also had hat caps and things like that. So super fun. I think we're gonna do more of this. We should do more of this. Yeah, this next year for sure. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I do. Besides also updating the website, posting on social media, and sending out newsletters. And yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot, and thank you very much, Eva.
Of course.
It's crazy amount of work. Just the planning of everything is insane, and just then the actual work. And at the beginning of DoubleJump, I was editing all the trailers, all the materials. Eva's also editing. You didn't even show, like, Eva's editing a lot of the stuff that we put on Instagram, and then you have to run ads as a business, and then she's writing all the newsletters, like in designing all the newsletters. It's like literally everyone at DoubleJump right now is doing like almost three full-time jobs, and that's why I was also completely burning out and recording my workshop, and I thought I was dying. This year was hard. Right now it's great. Like like when you're going down, you're essentially just picking speed. So you're picking up speed, and then you go, whoop. So we're on the upward trend right now, but middle of this year, goddamn, we were going down fast. But obviously on the outside, like a lot of you guys don't know what's happening, and we're still working on a lot of workshops, and like we were all really trying our best that none of this is kind of visible. But luckily, I think at the middle of this year, Rod, we started chatting, and then I was like, oh, we really need someone at DoubleJump, and I didn't even know exactly what we need. I was like, we need someone, just help.
Well, I guess I can start by sharing my story a little bit. So I have I'm 41 at this point. I have a background in sales, like 20 years of sales experience, everything from bicycles, was an avid mountain biker, to high-end art. I sold art in La Jolla here on the coasts, like Picasso paintings and Andy Warhol, things like that. So I did that for 20 years, and I would always do like creative things on the side, whether it be illustration, or I did some computer graphics work when it was called that back, for like local businesses and things like that. Even for some of the places I worked, I started to kind of dabble with them, which was fun. Whenever you get paid for something you create, that's always a very interesting experience, very rewarding. And then eventually I was like, well, why don't I try to do this full time. So it happened though, when I decided to do that, it was like 2022. The industry was kind of going through some turmoil. So I decided to quit my job, lived off of savings for 2 years, which I don't recommend. Don't do that. And I just learned Houdini for those 2 years. That's all I did. 7 days a week, eat, sleep, drink Houdini. I've probably seen more Houdini workshops than anyone on the planet. And I got pretty decent. I mean, I was able to start crafting a reel, but I gave myself 2 years. And at that point I was like, if you're not in by then, you got to go back and start making money again. So that's what happened, is I ran out of time. A month later, I was getting active on the Discord for DoubleJump. And then a month later, Urban just kind of reached out and was like, hey, appreciate you answering some questions. I was wondering if you want to kind of, just do some stuff for us for free, and maybe we'll pay you in workshops. And I was like, and then I told him my story, and I was like, no, I need a job. And then he asked, well, what do you do? What can you do? And I told him my background, and he's like, well, that's exactly what I need help with, because I can't do all of this by myself anymore. Also Eva was there, but even that was,
Well, I was producing all the workshops.
Yeah.
Eva was doing all the web design, marketing, newsletter stuff. And I was doing everything on the workshop side.
Yeah.
And it was just, and also doing my workshop. That was the main thing. Like
that was
it's absolute insanity. Like what we tried to do and what we were doing at the time is just bananas. But that's why it's taking a bit longer. But I promise everything's going to be done and finished and patched up. But yeah, that's when Rod kind of joined, and then slowly we were like, okay, let's see if you can produce a few workshops and how that's going to go. And I think Rod was born for this. And now he has 20 workshops in development, and hopefully next year is going to be the biggest year for us when it comes to workshop releases. And we do have a few flagship workshops in production. So, do you want to show us stuff, Rod, or do you still want to?
No, I mean, I think that brings us up to speed essentially. Yeah. I mean, if you have, I'll start showing what I got. And if you have any questions, just ask me. In the chat too, I won't be able to read it, but you guys can let me know.
Yep.
And then you can ask me too, if you have anything prepared or any curveballs you'd like to throw at me on live.
I think if we just, take a sneak peek of all the kind of previews that we currently have, and we can talk about some of the workshops, I guess, that we have in development, but then also we can chat about how it is working with instructors and how that actually can be difficult or very easy, and why does it take so long to produce a workshop. What are some of the classic major challenges with producing a workshop and stuff like that? Because it is difficult. We try to help as much as we can. I'm literally doing color grading for Grayson right now. Well, I kind of finished all the color grading, but we are constantly working together. Like we were pushing Grayson quite a bit because he showed us stuff, and I was like, but maybe just a month more. And he was like, I'm freaking, I'm tired. I was like, but it's so good. Just like push it those extra 5%. And then, we help, we try help with rendering, editing, compositing. We hire animators. We literally hire animators to animate assets. We hire asset artists for your workshop. So your workshop is as good as it can be. So we, in a way, are working as a studio trying to empower instructors as much as we can. But with all of that, there's still obviously a ton of, not problems, but just like classic kind of bottlenecks that I guess we can chat as you're showing us some of the previews.
Sure. Yeah. If you want to throw my screen up there.
Oh, that's right. I'm the master and commander here.
Great movie.
Stage. Yeah. There you go.
All right. So this is essentially a Figma board, like Ava said. And this is what I usually start with for a workshop. unless an instructor comes to me with an idea, I'll, chat with Urban and the team and try to, see what they think will work. And then I just kind of see if that's actually practical. Because sometimes what I want to see is essentially like a short film, and it's, we don't have millions of dollars to spend on that. So, anyways, this is the first two are in an order, but after that, we don't have release dates. So, I won't be able to give you release dates on some of these, and, pricing either. I'm sure that might come up. So no release date talk or pricing, please. Okay. So the first one we're releasing is actually this month, and this is Grayson's game destruction, from theory to mastery. So he's going to go over pretty much everything you can want to know about destruction in Unreal. He'll be taking setups from Houdini and actually bringing them into Unreal and creating some pretty cool.
This is going to be a big one. Like,
yeah. So
it's like a very complete kind of workshop.
So yeah, bear with me here if I start getting funky with the navigation.
Fine.
So this is one of the main projects in the workshop here. Hopefully all the videos play. So you'll be making all of this.
And the explosions are actual VDBs that are super compressed with Zebra AI, so they can actually play in game.
Yeah.
A lot of games are starting using VDBs. It's still a bit heavy, so Grayson is using a mixture of cards, more traditional kind of setups, and some VDBs. Like for instance, this tornado thing.
And this will be available in the Legendary Edition.
The Legendary, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that tornado. So this is real-time destruction. This is not pre-rendered. This is running. All of this is Unreal Engine running in Unreal. The tornado is a Houdini sim though, but then all the RBD and destruction and everything else, the trees, that's all Unreal Engine.
Like, and this is just kind of a live screen recording, which I thought was kind of cool. Just
that looks awesome.
Ball of destruction, and it's all live. Like it's almost like a video game, because you're almost playing in the viewport, which is always cool. I love that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that in Houdini.
Yep.
And this is another thing we love about Grayson, is that he kind of knows what we need, and he provides us with everything that we need, which is amazing. So this is all like marketing material that he gave us, which is great. So you'll see a lot of this stuff on social media, on Instagram, YouTube, things like that. This is just a screen capture of one of our mega documents. And these workshops are massive. They take on average 50 gigs. I mean, you guys know, you've downloaded some of them, and some of them are upwards of 200 gigs. And we have like a 12 terabyte mega drive that houses all of our workshops. And it's pretty
16,
nuts. 16 is okay. Yeah. No. Yeah.
But
we have to
still
up
have
it
some space.
So.
But yeah, Grayson's a superstar. He's really easy to work with, and he just makes things. Like, he modeled this. He made this asset.
Yeah. And this is an asset you'll get in the game. This is a asset included with it. It's got a little grenade down here, and you actually get to like use it and play, which is really cool.
Yeah. It's going to be a playable level with everything is destructible.
And it'll be your destruction. Like if you want to change the shapes and colors, it's super cool. And he's just going nuts. I was watching this getting Terminator 2 vibes, like when he comes out of the bank, he's just like, tunk, tunk, tunk. Yeah.
Well, it kind of looks like a Doom, a gun from Doom, and you just freaking go ham on all the demons.
I don't even think you were alive when the first Doom came out, were you?
I was just getting out there, man.
Just getting out there. Yeah.
I was just,
I literally remember going to, I think it was a Wells Fargo with a friend of mine. His mom drove us there, and he got out his savings, which I think was like $200, which, for a kid, that's a ton of money. And then we went to the mall, if everybody knows what a mall is. And he bought, I don't remember what system it was that it first came on.
Wasn't it a PC?
No, well, maybe it was a PC, but there was a weird game system that doesn't exist anymore that he bought. And then he bought the game, and we just stayed up all night playing Doom. Yeah. It was awesome. And I mean, I don't know how old I was, but those are the memories that kind of stick with you, which is cool. Yep. And this is another thing, just to give a shout out to Grayson. I'm not sure if he's sleeping or working, but he gave me all the files, and it was perfect. Headshot recordings, project files, promo script. And these are the things that people don't see is we need all of this from an instructor. If we don't get this kind of stuff, the workshop suffers, because then you guys kind of don't get to see everything, right? You don't, it's like, well, who is this person, or Bon has to do the recording of the workshop promo video, which is good, but it's still the best if you get the actual instructor to do it. So we do require a lot from our instructors, but I think the end product is much better. So big shout out to Grayson. There's a whole lot more to show. Sega 32X. Yes, it was. Yeah. Yes, that was it, I believe. Thank you. And so, yeah, big shout out to him. And then the trailer and the course will be dropping this month. There's a whole lot more to show, but you'll see it in a couple weeks. Okay. The next one.
Also, I wanted to add, we have a full DoubleJump wiki that I wrote, and it has, dude, it has like 50 pages of literally how we launch a workshop, exactly what we need from them, in what resolution, what videos, literally the whole plan, blueprint of how to launch a workshop as perfectly as possible. And I don't think anyone goes through that document, and then we have to answer the same questions a million times, and then everybody sends us the wrong resolution at the first, everyone, and then the audio quality is not good enough, and we need to upscale it or like change it, and then every time. So
it's a lot. To be fair to some of the instructors, it is a lot. I always ask them to read it. I actually went through and read it, so don't sound like a hypocrite, but it's a massive document, and it's there because you've already been through all the pitfalls, right? So we just try to nip it in the bud when we can. But yeah, it's a funny document. When I send it to instructors and they don't really have a lot of teaching, even the ones that have teaching experience, they're still like, holy shit, like this is, you guys are serious. It's like, this is how we make a living. And we have a community that, expects a certain quality from us. So
it's really hard. Yeah.
Okay. The next one I've been asked, was asked on the chat right now about this one. Ahmed is doing this one. He's a superstar. Check out all his stuff on LinkedIn, because he's always posting some nutty environment scene. If you haven't seen it, I'm saying a lot. Oh. This is the project. So everything that you see here, except the creatures and the background waterfalls here, you will learn how to make in the workshop. We're working on the background waterfalls. It might be a legendary edition, but we got to figure that out, because this is it's not an effects course, so it's an environments workshop. But this is what you'll be able to.
It looks great. It almost looks like a scene from Avatar. And I remember when I first saw this, I was like it's crazy high quality.
You're like, I don't remember that from the movie.
Yeah, deleted scene. Yeah, it looks great, and the animation and the assets that they've made. So I after I saw that, I immediately reached out. But last year, this is from last year.
Yeah, this one's been in the works for a while.
Yeah, but
before I got on board.
Yeah, but the guy was busy, and at the beginning, Ahmed was he was like, I'm gonna finish this in like a month, and then he got a freelance job and another one, and then another one, and then a year later, and that's That's why we have 20 workshops in development, because I know 50% of them are going to get delayed, sometimes even by a whole year or even more. And then sometimes they get completely canceled, because a lot of these guys sometimes are like, listen, I'm fully booked. I don't see myself finishing this.
Yeah,
In a,
there are
even
some
in
of
a
them
year.
that are, yeah.
Yeah, so we just put them on hold, or we completely cancel them because for one reason or another. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that actually brings up another good point. What I said before is, if your work is good enough, you will get something,
Hired.
a gig, a job, whatever.
100%.
Because that's exactly what happened here. Is he showed this, and he couldn't stop getting gigs. So
Yeah.
you know, and with this one, it's kind of special because I can announce that we're partnering with Chaos Group. So students are going to get a ridiculous deal on V-Ray and its kind of associated programs here. And yeah, this is like, it's a year license, I believe, and it's a crazy price. So Ahmed uses that V-Ray to render the workshop. We have another one that's going to use V-Ray as well. So that this will definitely come in handy. I'm sure you guys saw the drop and render deal that we did. That was out of necessity, not only for our workshops, but to help you guys render some of these, because we know it's a lot. So we're working behind the scenes, not only to make workshops, but to get you guys some cool perks in the Legendary Edition. So it's different than the competition. And yeah, it'll use Houdini, Maya, Nuke, SpeedTree, and V-Ray. And these are some cool behind the scenes. Oh, it's going to be around 8 hours of instruction, and it's very condensed too, which is kind of nice. So,
well, this is a thing we constantly also discuss internally. It's like, is it better to do a 10-hour workshop or a 50-hour workshop? And is a 50-hour workshop more expensive than a 10-hour workshop?
Yeah.
Right? Because not every time, like quantity doesn't equal quality, and sometimes it's more beneficial for the customer to get. So, for instance, from post-processed, our Unreal Engine automotive workshop is, I think, 18 or 15 hours long, and people love that one. It's also one of our best sellers and our kind of flagship workshop, and the best renders are coming from that workshop, because the way it's structured so the student / customer gets, once they're finished, they create a really cool render. Obviously, it's Unreal Engine, it's real time, so they don't have to render. It's a lot of reasons, but it's a short workshop that it's more obtainable to actually finish in a month versus recording 80 hours, which then takes a year for the instructor. It's really difficult, but then not everybody even finishes that because it's so freaking long, because it's like it's a full-time job for a few months to go through all the material. So then you're like, what is more beneficial? And sometimes, honestly, a 15-hour workshop is more beneficial, and length of the workshop should not dictate the price or the quality of the workshop, right? So, and it's a struggle, because let's say this one, right? It's like 8 hours long. Let's say if we price it at 600, like all the other all the other workshops, is it worth 600? To some people it's going to be a yes. To some people they're going to be like, but it's only 8 hours and Film Effects is 100 hours.
Yeah.
Why is it at the same price? Well, because sometimes you just need an 8-hour condensed workshop about environments. And you need it, and that's why this information is valuable to you. So in the end, it's very subjective what is actually more valuable, right, to the customer.
Yeah. No, it's exactly it's and a lot of it's instructor dependent too. Some of the instructors like to take more time, so it just, again, it's another sticking point for us behind the scenes. It's always when it comes to price, workshop titles. That's a huge one that we go back and forth on and argue over. So and then, newsletter titles, that's a fun one.
Yes.
So recently. Anyways, so this is a preview screen captures. Obviously, he's going to go into all kinds of different things. Deep rendering, which is kind of cool. You don't see a lot of that going on. And I was watching some of this last night. That's the perks of being the executive producer at DoubleJump, is I can watch the workshops whenever I want. So I was watching some of this last night, and yeah, he goes into the deep rendering. Here's another over here, and yeah, it's just super cool. And then a lot of procedural modeling of cliffs and vegetation scattering. Goes into speed tree and creates some pretty cool mangrove trees. And then cool layouts in Maya. Again, procedural like root structures here in Houdini. And then again, the cliffs. So awesome. Just overall really cool.
Yep.
Let's see. Is the environment rendered in OBJ level, V-Ray, or Solaris? It's, did I take any? I don't remember. I'm trying to see if I have any screen grabs. I'm not 100% sure. If you ask it again on the Discord and remind me, I'll look and see. And so, yeah, this is just, I asked Ahmed last night, you know, what do you think are some cool things that I could grab screens from? And he just, you know, again, this is a lot of the stuff that's covered, and this is just a small snippet. So this one will be a January release. So look for that one. Okay, and so these next ones, like I said, not in any particular order, just this is what I've got going on, or we've got going on, I should say. So the first one up is Jesse. He did the anime impact effects. That's our most downloaded workshop. Unfortunately, at least from me, from a sales background, it was free. So that always bothers me, but for you guys, it was awesome.
Yeah, we could have made a lot of money with that one.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
This one has literally thousands of downloads. So yeah, we could have
like 5,000, or
we could have retired
or 8
on this workshop.
Yeah,
but anyways, we did it for free.
Yeah,
and along with the moonshot, that one's getting up there again. That's got a couple more days, and then that's gonna go back in the vault. I was gonna say Disney Vault, but that's trademarked. So yeah, this is one that Jesse's working on. It'll be in the same kind of vein of the anime impact effects, so the whole scene. I don't have a lot to show from this one because we're still kind of working through it, but I do have a little bit of a video. And you're again creating everything, and that'll be shown. Jesse's really good with the magical type effects.
And there's probably going to be an explosion and a big implosion and some stuff happening.
Yeah,
and
like
Jesse's changing this one. He changed the concept like 3 times already.
He did, yeah. And that's another thing is I don't usually like to do this because it just makes the workshop take longer. But if it goes in a direction that I think is better, and it's going to give the students more what I call teachable moments, then I'll allow it. But yeah, there will be like a shockwave here, and I believe there's going to be a system where the trees will be affected by it. And then the ruins, and there's going to be, I think, some cracks and some RBD, you know, floating around. So there should be a lot of stuff to learn. And he's got all his little wacky, I didn't take any pictures of it, but his like little HDAs that he makes. I'm sure you guys are familiar with them from the anime. Yeah. So there'll be a bunch of that in there. The next one up is essentially how to use Houdini for short form storytelling. Martin is doing this one. He's incredible. Go check out his website. He's got a lot of small, 1 minute to 2 minute shorts that he does on his own for, fun and to experiment and learn new techniques. And so I figured this would be a good one for you guys because it will not only teach you storytelling and so a little bit of cinematography, where to put the camera, why to put the camera, but also a lot of different types of effects. So this is going to be the workshop. You'll be able to make all of this. And it's a grainy render because it's not the final, and we don't want to take 7 weeks to render this just for a preview.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's got some cool vibes.
Yeah, this went through a lot of iterations as well. I
Yeah.
think for the past 6 months, we've been kind of adding, improving. So this is not the final version. This is gonna probably
Correct. It'll still change a little bit, but the
change,
bones
yeah.
are there.
But it's great. Yeah.
So that one's from Martin. That should be cool. And again, all in Houdini. So a lot of different setups there. This one's from my buddy Dan right up the road. I live in Southern California in San Diego. Dan's up in LA with a lot of the other effects guys. He's worked up Blur and things like that. So he's a cool guy. We'll be doing a kind of a tornado effects workshop. So there'll be destruction in there, procedural modeling to build out the environment. And then obviously the main star of the show will be the couple different tornado setups. We're doing 2 shots from the movie Twisters.
And we're trying to match them. Like we're really trying to match them 1-to-1, almost exactly how ILM did them.
But with one person.
But yeah, well, I helped a bit on this one.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, 2 people. Sorry.
Yeah, because I essentially developed a new. I haven't seen this before, but this is using flip and a lot of cool kind of fake particle flip-looking effects to make it spin, and it's like really organic. And I think, and then Dan is adding stuff on top and like improving the system. Yeah. And then this was also using Maximus, which is one of my kind of turbulence, disturbance microsolvers that I've made a month and a half ago. And it really gives really nice breakups and shapes. Like it looks really organic. So I was happy that Dan can use it and kind of demo it here as well. But yeah, just like, this one's gonna have a lot of stuff as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are essentially the 2 shots. So the refinery, and it's just different parts. And then for some of these workshops, if I have the material, I included it. I wasn't sure how much to include because some of these workshops, they almost become like your children because you're with them all the time. You become friendly with the instructors, if not friends. And, you don't want anybody to swipe your ideas before they get released. So I was a little hesitant, but anyways, some of these are actual, like just what I get sent on a ideally weekly basis. Sometimes it's longer, but ideally weekly is what I like to see from instructors. So this is the environment. This was all procedurally modeled. So you'll learn how to do that, different techniques, except for the cars. Those are just assets. And then this is just a viewport render of the tornado, different smoke and particle advection, all the fun buzzwords.
Yeah, it's gonna be a cool one.
And next one is Nick. He's going to be doing a Solaris in production workshop for us, and so I want to keep pointing. So it's but you can't see. That one. Yeah, this one. Like you can do this there. This is what'll be covered in the workshop. And this literally straight out of Nick. I just copied and pasted this from an email. So, and he actually, and you can check out some of Nick's stuff here. He actually made one of the shots from this for the Punisher 3D challenge. So you might have seen some of this already, but he'll teach you how to do all of that. And this is, again, these are all current state. So none of these are final at all, but it gives you an idea. This is the shot from the 3D challenge.
Yeah, and I think Oh yeah, that's a shot, but then everything before it was added, right?
Correct. Yeah. So we've essentially elongated the storytelling, which is interesting. It's like taking those 3D challenges and being like, well, what happened before?
Yeah. And I think Nick is also working at Blur currently, right? He's one of
these guys. I don't know. I get lost.
Yeah. I think he is.
When somebody tells me they work at Weta or on an Avatar film, it's now. Before I would have been like, oh man, that's super cool. But now I'm like, okay, like that's great. Like,
not phased anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Okay, this one is one that I'm excited about because we were working with one instructor and we had to part ways, scheduling conflicts. It was unfortunate because I was really excited to work with this particular instructor, and maybe one day we'll work with him again, either at DoubleJump or maybe even at Crispy Chicken. But you know who you are if you're watching this. Still love you. And okay, so this is going to be Advanced Destruction in Houdini, and it's done by Will Wallace. He did a car flip. There's actually a workshop on that. We're gonna grab that and put that on DoubleJump, so you guys can get familiar with Will before this is released. And this is one of the ones that we went out and got an animator for, and Alon was the animator on this one. And again, you check out all the links here with his stuff and Will's. So this is AI. I even covered up the little thing here. I just told it to give me a thing, and to give you more behind the scenes and to kind of take a little bit longer for this. This is how I would want to title a workshop, right? Like an incident at Outpost 619, Advanced Destruction. But again, we always get into arguments of like, well, is that too long? Are people going to get confused? So we'll probably end up with something like Advanced Destruction in Houdini, which is for me is boring, but it gets so the dry. Point. It gets the point across.
Yeah, it's so dry, and I hate it. But as soon as we title workshops anything else than what they are, they don't sell. Or people get confused. They're like, what is a fire arrow? What is that? And then the more confusing it is, it's just like from a marketing perspective, we have to be just like so dry when it comes to these titles.
Yeah. So, and to kind of give you a little like really early behind the scenes, this was the mood board I started to develop when I was kind of having the idea for the workshop and talking with the original instructor. This was it, and kind of the vibe that I wanted to see. So I take not only real world reference, which is what we always say in the Discord, is what's your reference? Let us see it. Always best to go with real world stuff. But Gravity was a huge inspiration for this. Just the destruction and the look dev on that one. I think that was done in Arnold back in the day. And Geostorm, I was watching that the other day. Love me a Gerard Butler movie. That had some really cool look dev on the station. And then I watched The Martian. Again, great movie. And then it had some great look dev. And then we've got some videos, can't show here because these are, well, I can't show them. But in some of these, there's destruction that we have never seen before in a workshop, and we're trying to emulate that and give you guys like something new. And then we kind of come down to what I want to see. So I was like, well, tentacles are cool. Portals are cool, and then space stations are cool. So why don't we like just destroy a space station? And then here's some portal references, and then space station stuff. And then here's actually I have a better picture of that. So this was, again, this will be rendered in V-Ray. This was a look dev to make sure the textures hold up at scale, and they do. And there's this. And here is a very early dev on the animation. this is actually me. I did the animation on this, and Urban was like, I think we need to find an animator. so he found an animator.
That's right. I remember this. This is a while ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like this anymore. It's like way better.
Yeah. Thank you for that, by the way.
Well, it's okay. It could work with.
And that's another thing you learn too, especially in this industry, is how to develop you don't take things personally. Like when you're given feedback, it's not at all about you. It's about getting to the final image and that everyone is on the same page. So now when it's, I actually have to tell Urban now, like, stop sugarcoating it. Just tell me it sucks and I'll do it, and we'll go a different route. So
it's faster.
Yeah. So this is the station that we're making. This again, it'll change. This will be included as a custom asset in the workshop. It'll be UV'd, U-dimmed, all that good stuff. It's textured in Substance Painter. And I'm thinking, this is just the thought, I wanted to actually sell spaces on the station. So if you guys wanted to kick in for different prices, right? So like $20 for a small panel, $100 for a large panel, we'll put your logo on here, and then you can kind of be immortalized in a workshop, like we're doing here with the Double Jump and Crispy Chicken. This is Will's logo on his website. So
yeah, we should reach out to Side Effects and like these other studios or companies as well.
See if they want to chip in a little bit. Yeah. Help us out. And then, so this is a little bit closer. These are actual shots from in camera. And then this is I'm going to skip that real quick. This is the actual animation here that you guys will be provided. It's included in the workshop. We will probably not do every single shot in this because that's going to take forever. But the cool thing is you will have raw animations to work with that aren't in the workshop, so you can push yourselves farther, right? Whenever you do a workshop and you just copy it and then you put that in your reel, that doesn't help you. You need to do your own shots and encounter your own problems. And then when the studio sees that, they know, okay, like this individual can problem solve and they can do all that. And you're more likely to get a call back if you do that.
Yep.
So this is R&D from the workshop.
Yeah, look at that.
So again,
see, this is also a good example where we hired an animator. Rod actually did most of the spaceship, and he textured it, and he was rendering some of the keyframes that you saw there. And then we had this whole concept and everything, and then we were looking for a destruction guy who can actually make proper, hardcore destruction on this. So yeah, we really try our best to, this needs to go through ACES. Jesus Christ. This is not ACES, but it looks pretty good.
This is just basic R&D. Like the explosions will change. And this is another thing behind the scenes is it's, I was even talking to Will. You're just like, hey, I know Urban's the explosion guy, but in this one, I don't want big explosions because they're covering up all the hard work. So we just,
did a big one.
Yeah. Well, this is after I saw this. Yeah.
No, I like it. I think we should do like 2 different levels, or like 3, one with big explosion and one with a bit more realistic kind of. Yeah, this is great. Like all the metal bending and like the different pieces and the interaction with the animation and all of that, right? It's pretty cool. Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the best destruction workshops out there.
And it'll be all art directable. So it's almost like an actual studio project, because these are things that a director would ask. It's like, well, can you make 100%. It 90% less? And you're like, well, what does 90% even mean? Like
100%. And then you would show this in the dailies, and he would then pick which one. It's like, okay, you wanted it 60. That's what we're going with. Yeah, look at that.
And there are different setups too. It's not just like destruction, but it's like, okay, well, how do you, do things with like a cage system, or, take the tentacle and create a map from that. And that'll drive your destruction. And then this is just one making sure that the tech actually works with an animation.
Yeah.
Which is another cool thing. And we'll discuss all this in the workshop. He'll walk you through like, why am I doing this on a crappy little thing that's just doing this? It's like, well, because you don't do it on the main animation right away because that takes too long. The goal is to get the tech working quickly so that you can show it and get it approved, and then you work on the big thing.
Yep.
Again, things that'll help you not only in your career, but if you go freelance, that's huge. And then these are some of the different, again, it's all R&D. So some of it's really wobbly, but it's just to show that it's actually working. This is a cool one there. This is more.
I haven't seen this.
Oops.
Haven't seen this yet.
Oops.
What? This is great.
So this is more like how it would look in space, because obviously there's not really any oxygen for explosions.
Dude, that's awesome. I thought I was from a movie because I haven't seen this yet, but. Oh, heck yeah.
So, what that actually shows you too, these modules have actual internal structures, like a lot of them. So things to attach constraints to and interact with. They're not just like Coke cans. So I think the model as it stands now is like 7.6 million polys. So some people will put a caveat on the workshop. Some computers won't be able to do this, but the cool thing is it's all modular. So you can just strip it down and use whatever your machine can handle at that point in time. And then as you upgrade your machine, you can go back to the workshop and be like, let's do the whole thing now. So that's always cool. I'm trying to help you guys out there that are using laptops and stuff. The portal effects will be included, but that'll be in the Legendary Edition. And the full sequence, which I showed down here, will also be available in the Legendary. So again, just to give you guys options there. And this workshop's price will probably be more in line with our competition, because usually our prices are lower, which again is a point of contention. But this one will be priced.
It's a flagship.
It's huge.
Workshop.
Yeah, it's a big workshop. So again, shout out to Will. If you're watching this, appreciate you, buddy. And Will's great. We do a call every week, that's like the ideal. So everyone's on the same page. Everyone's, motivated and it's fun. And again, shout out to Alon. He spent a while. Tentacles, apparently, I didn't know this, but in the animation industry, tentacles are a huge pain in the ass. So shout out to Alon for doing that, and for the other artists who helped us with the texturing and modeling.
Yeah. Sweet.
Okay. Now for another flagship one. Our buddy Moises is doing this, and Martin is animating these. Martin's great. He's actually animated a couple things for us. The hardware requirements to run that entire workshop, you're probably going to want like a Threadripper or some like high core CPU, at least 128 gigs of RAM. This is for the whole thing. If you want to strip down the model, you can run it with less. And we try to do that. That's actually a question we get asked a lot. A lot of our workshops, they don't necessarily require a certain machine, because you can always lower the settings. So it just really depends. But yeah, a 1-for-1, it's a pretty decent machine. So this will use Karma, Material X, and this is more along the lines of bespoke effects, which is when you get to a certain point in the industry, that's what you're going to be doing. Is the director will say, hey, I saw these 3 movies. Can you combine those effects and do that? And you're like, I think so. So this should help you develop a workflow to do that. The Genesis.
Again,
go ahead.
Sorry, this is again a really good example where we again hired an animator, created a whole scene, and then we talk with the artist, with the FX artist, to see what kind of effects. Well, and Rod in a way is also a director for a lot of these workshops now. So he would create a full Figma board with all the references and how it should look like and how many shots are we going to do. I quickly helped with the cameras, and I know, Rod, I need to update the cameras because they were too fast. And
this is what Urban was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Rod is acting like a producer / director for a lot of these workshops. And, that's kind of the work we put in here from our side, is to kind of guide the artists. And then once we agree on a concept and a direction, then we go, okay, we have an animator, we have somebody who can help us render this. Maybe somebody can even sometimes help with the compositing. And it is like a full team effort to create each and every one of these workshops. And that's why, like, this year we did release a few workshops, but next year, this is all, we were working the whole year on these ones.
Yeah, the Houdini, God's willing. Yes, next year.
Yeah, but that's, in a way, we want to show you almost like this is our, when they show at Comic-Cons, they show previews of all the shows, and like Marvel would show all the logos of all the shows that are coming for the next 3 to 4 years. This is kind of like what we're doing.
We're showing our hand for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was the original mood board that I was putting together when I thought of this. I've always wanted to see this How to Train Your Dragon 2 ice effects thing done. And I've seen it. It's been done. Some other guys have kind of hacked it together, and it was okay, but never anything that I was impressed with to the point where I'd spend hundreds of dollars. So anyways, that was the genesis of this. And then talking with Moises, we came to another kind of inflection point, and that was, well, why don't we like start adding some like gore to it? That'll like really kind of change the flip the script. So all of these are a team effort. And I mean, there's even these are even scripts. And again, sometimes the artists themselves have to tell me like what's possible. They're like, hey, that's going to take me 3 years. I can't do that.
Yeah, because we had talking dinosaurs, and we were like, well, that's maybe a bit too much.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. But
no, I was like, did we? I don't even know anymore. I don't.
I
just wake up and do this and then sleep, and then I don't know. But this is like the first kind of look dev that he was doing, and this one kind of shows like two different moods. Like we need to decide what we think is gonna work better for the effects and what won't. But again, they're like little tiny projects, and this is a rough animation, or this is the animation with the environment. And again, just some behind the scenes so you guys see what's going on and how we develop these things. Urban did the cameras. They're still being worked on.
And it's too fast and a bit too hard to see what's happening.
And then these are where some of the effects stand now. Whoops, I knew I was going to do that.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of blood on this one.
Yeah.
Sweet. It's awesome. Oh, look at that. He's dead. Oh! Oh my God. What are we doing? Are we going to get banned from YouTube for showing this?
No. Maybe like 20 years ago.
YouTube's going to flag us for
not now.
Inappropriate footage.
But
That's gonna
yeah,
be
so
awesome.
we
I haven't seen stuff like this before, where it's like gory and blood and just like, you know, nobody does workshops with that. But essentially, it's like a lot of vellum and flips and like all, you can reuse a lot of these techniques for more for all kinds of different effects, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, just
Yeah,
some
this is good.
R&D stuff
That's
there.
really good scale and grains.
And then these are all USD Karma Material X. And I have it at the bottom of this presentation, but a big shout out to a lot of our partners like iCandy XYZ, who allowed us to, well, we purchased this rig, but they're allowing us to use the animated cache files in the workshop, which is really cool. Obviously, we're not selling the rig or anything like that, or the textures. If you guys need that stuff, you got to buy it from them. But you will get the animated cache file, which is all you really need to do the effects. Truong CG artist, I believe, is his, how you pronounce that. He, again, allowed us to use the animated cache files from his dinosaur. His rigs are all over the place. And they're really good. A lot of the animators prefer to use these. And then here's the Triceratops. But yeah, the dinosaur is what's going to be getting impaled, like you saw, and that's where all the gore effects will come from. So that's that one. Thanks, Moises. And this one, I'm sure you guys know Stephen Corman. He's done other workshops. He's awesome, and we'll be doing a matte painting workshop with him. I don't have a ton to show from this one, but this is which essentially you'll be creating is this scene here with the Barad-dûr and the Mountain
Harry
Doom.
Potter, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think the third moon, Prisoner of Azkaban. Yes, that one.
Yeah.
And then we're trying to get some effects on top of this too, just so we can show not only kind of matte painting techniques, but how to incorporate actual effects into the matte painting. So we went out and we got a little eye here, and then we're working on it. Not sure when it's going to be done, but we're doing the tower destruction as well. And those will just be files that you guys can, download. It won't be shown how to do that in the workshop. And then here's the closer of the eye. And then we kind of move into new territory for us, which is we're expanding, as you saw with the Cinema 4D workshop we did. We're going into different programs now and seeing if we can kind of apply the double jump touch to those workshops and give you guys some gnarly content in different programs. So Nico is doing this workshop for us, and he's awesome. Go check out any of his links. He's a Blender wizard. And this is basically going to be kind of like it's just short form storytelling in Blender. So we're literally taking you from the inception of the idea, how to get it all the way to your final render by yourself. There is no animator on this one. Nico is doing everything. And that's what's kind of interesting about a lot of these Blender artists is, whereas Houdini, it's very rare to do that because it's just the nature of the beast. But with these Blender artists, it's amazing what they can do with this program. So like I said, everything.
They're a one-man factory / studio.
Yeah.
And that's what Nico is. Yeah, it's insane. Like it's rendering, rigging, modeling, texturing.
He's got some really cool mechanical rigging stuff. So if you go on his Instagram, rigging. I was like, we got to have that stuff. Like that's essentially how I found him.
Like these types of things, like I always had the itch to start also learning Blender, just because some things are much faster and easier to do in Blender, especially when it comes to just creating your whole movies, or like I see a lot of commercials now done in Blender as well. And I'm not talking badly about Houdini. Houdini is like a absolute machine of a software, but I do see Blender people like the quality is getting super high as you see with this workshop as well.
Yeah, this one's a beast.
Yeah, it's very decent.
So yeah, well, we're going from inside this factory. He wakes up, kind of figures out things are strange. He shouldn't be waking up, and then he has to escape the factory, and then there's a story behind it. I won't spoil it right now, but yeah, different kinds of environments, if you will. So interior, exterior, and then everything in between you'll learn. So definitely keep an eye out for that one, because it should be pretty cool.
We have more. How many more do we have?
You told me. I mean, it's the whole shebang. I'm going as fast as I can.
Yeah.
So this one is CFX and Houdini. Milen is doing this one for us. Him and his wife, Dorothy. She did the sculpt on this, which is really cool. And these are first iterations. So I wanted to show you guys that too, just to show you how much things change and kind of what we ask from the artists and how we push them. And this is also kind of an ad for future instructors. Like, if you want to work with us, this is the level that we're looking for, and call me. So let's see here. So these are first drafts, if you will. Let's go. We essentially treat these workshops like productions, because that's what we need to do in order to get the quality up. These are some cool renders, not final, but to show you, potential. And this will be muscle, fur, fat, skin, all that will be covered in Houdini. We've got some pretty cool animators attached to this. I won't say who they are right now, but we will eventually. So again,
that's not the one with the muscle sim, right?
This one is.
That's not the one that I said it's like Pacific Rim.
No. That one's coming up. Hold your horses.
Okay. Yeah.
These, and then this is a little bit more of the kind of muscle sim getting in there, just pushing things. So these are.
Oh, look at that.
These are the muscles.
It's so cool.
And then we actually, you got the skeleton. So this is how you do it in the real world. This is the one that you were talking about. So this walk cycle will be included in the standard edition. And then we have another animation that's more advanced. That'll be in the legendary edition.
Yeah, look at those jiggles.
And again, this is still work in progress. You see some of the bicep wrinkles need a little work, but
it's pretty good.
Just wanted to show you guys. And then this animation, again, will be included with the legendary, and we're going to do all the CFX on this as well. This is just blocking.
Nice.
So that's the CFX. This one's cool. This is going to be, again, kind of on that gore level, but a little bit different. So different parts of Houdini: procedural animation, gore, a really cool rain setup, obviously lighting and rendering. This creature model is not the one we're going to use in the workshop. This is for test purposes only. So I just wanted to make that very clear. And again, just some quick renders to show you guys interesting systems. And this is all procedural animation. This is not keyframed or anything. And it's all done in Houdini as well. So again, there's gore setups, and this thing's gonna punch out of the horse, and
of course,
some great,
very normal.
Yeah. And Parker's great. He's doing this workshop, so
yeah, he's great.
Check him out. He'll get something good. This is another one we're doing. This is gonna go into Cinema 4D and Octane. This is by Mitch Myers. He's He's an amazing motion designer, director, and he's going to be doing this one for us. So it'll go into, he'll model the full laptop, and then we're going to do a bunch of effects with it. So it'll essentially be a product launch. And so there'll be, volume sims and, different camera animations, lighting techniques, all that good stuff. Again, this one's still in the early stages, but for all you cinema guys out there, it should be pretty cool.
Yep.
Okay, and then these ones are on the radar. So I don't have a lot, but just to show you really quick, this is a volcano effects one. Another one that we got, some animation for. Animation was done by Andrew, and Federico is doing the effects on this one. It'll be a lot of different volcano setups, procedural rocks and lava bubbles, and then different kind of terrain techniques, character interactions with the with this cool animation that we're going to give you. There'll be some RBD volumes. He's going to light some trees on fire, and he'll make some trees in L systems that will react to a like a volcanic explosion. So that should be cool.
That's fun.
And this is just again, a quick mood board for stuff that we wanted to see, different movies to inspire it. And then we're going to join forces with post-process again and do another automotive one, but this will be getting effects into your automotive cinematics. This is a rough stage version of the asset that we'll be using with all the cool DoubleJump and Crispy Chicken logos. And then
yeah, it's going to be awesome. I saw a bunch of previews already, and it's looking amazing. And post-process, like, he's pioneering this. He's the pioneer in this industry right now. Like, he's working with all the biggest brands, and
yeah,
he was actually supposed to be working on this freaking workshop, and then he was like, guys, I have the biggest client. I'm going to be for the next 3-4 months. He was like, they're throwing money at me. It's an amazing project, and I'm going to be back in 3 months.
Yeah, he's booked solid right now.
He is. He's like, this is it's a niche industry, and if you can get good at it, you're going to be booked. If nothing else, post-process is going to hire you, because he probably needs people who are on his level as well.
Yeah. And then this one is still in the works, but we've got the animation for it. Again, Martin helped us with this one. This will be a DLC for the Ultimate Explosions workshop, a paid DLC. And then, it's based off of a StarCraft scene. And then we'll have all these little guys running around and everything.
I was almost a pro player. Like, we were literally training, and we were playing in tournaments, and I spent like 3 or 4 years of my life on StarCraft. So the cinematic is very special, and they have a lot of really good explosions with grains and pieces and debris, and all this, like, all of our master exploder tools are made for these types of explosions. And I was just like, let's do a remastered version of that cinematic. Not that the old one is bad or anything. I just wanted to, put my kind of spin on it, and it's just fun. It's fun recreating these scenes. So we already have the animation. I'm not sure if you're going to show the animation, Rod, as well, if you have it here, but
I don't.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, we have pretty much all the animations done. I just need to find the time to do this, which is difficult, but I'll get to it.
And then this is one that I'm trying to get off the ground. We got to find an artist who's capable of doing all of this. But like a larger fire is something we get asked a lot about. So I wanted to do different types of fire effects with a very cool animation. So something like, ideally would be like this scene from the Lord of the Rings, I think would be epic to do to recreate. And then, this kind of just goes into how I think about these and what I think it needs to be included to make this a full workshop kind of worth people's time. And a lot of Magic the Gathering references because I played that as a youngin. Yeah. And then this is a workshop that I'm actually struggling to get off the ground. This is I just lost the third artist on it. So now we're on the fourth artist. It's not because of the difficulty of it. It's just scheduling. But this is the animation, and this was done by Victor Pescara. Sorry, Victor, if I mispronounced your last name. He worked on Arcane. So this is the animation that we have. It'll be grains and RBD, things like that. But this is like very early stages. Like this is just the animation. And then around it, we'll have other effects. So all animations, and most of our animators work in Maya because they're professionals still actually working in the industry now. So if you know somebody that has time to do this and they have the background, let me know and we can talk. There'll be other magical effects around this one as well.
This one was supposed to have a lot of particle effects. So particle plus magical effects. So anything you can do with grains or pops and, magical pops or more realistic pops, just like a lot of variety when it comes to working with particles, because it's such an essential thing to do. I honestly think Houdini should update their particle solver a bit. Like it's been ages and ages. Like nothing has changed since I started working in Houdini. Not that there's anything wrong with it, and you can do anything you want with particles and create your own systems. But we wanted to create like a workshop that showcases a lot of different particle effects with this one. Yeah.
So that's that one. And then kind of already said this, but big shout out to all the riggers. We use Kyle's rigs in a lot of our stuff, so appreciate him and allowing us to use the cache files. And then, like I said before, Churong, iCandy, XYZ. If you want that full model, it's pretty bitchin'. I mean, fully textured. It's actually got a skeleton, which we didn't even know. We were looking at the rig, and Moises was like, "Dude, this thing's got a skeleton," which is pretty funny. So it's an amazingly detailed model. So go and check that out. And that's all I got.
Whoa, Jesus Christ, bro.
Thank you. Thanks to the team and everybody involved. It is a lot. And thanks to all you guys that actually make this possible. So
and this is not even everything. There's like there's plenty more in development, but these are kind of the ones that have the most to show. And yes, some of them are going to change a lot and evolve, and some of them have been many, many months in production. And essentially I just wanted to kind of showcase kind of the work we do, how much work goes into a workshop, what are we planning on doing, so you guys can see as well, so you can tell us what you're most excited about. Or with a lot of these workshops, there's still time if you're like, but if you guys change that, then I would buy it. Like you can tell us, you can vote.
Well, to an extent.
To an extent, but you can give us feedback so we can, in some cases, kind of steer them a bit to your preference, because essentially we are doing all of this. So obviously we know, since we're all FX artists, we know what we want to see. But it's super valuable to get feedback from the community. That's essentially what it's all about, right? So you guys are happy. Because sometimes we shoot a bit in the dark, and we get crickets with some of the workshops, and we're like, why didn't that sell? Or why were people not excited? Because I was excited about it, right? So it's always good to listen to feedback and kind of steer the ship if needed a bit, not too much, because Rod is going to go crazy if we do too much. But
well, not just me, like the instructors have a path, if we try to deviate or add, it's like, because a lot of these have a time limit too, especially in Moises's case, he took time off of his normal job. Like he took 2 months off of working and actually getting an income. And that's another thing people don't understand is we don't just pay our instructors like a fee and then say like, okay, thanks, goodbye. They actually profit share with us. So, you know, they get paid once the workshop is live and it's selling. So it's, you know, it's an interesting business model. When it works very well. So that's why we went this route. But yeah, these guys work their asses off.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. But yeah, it's really cool seeing all of that like that. It's the first time you know, obviously we have meetings each week, but I've never seen it all laid out like that before. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe we'll do this like once a year because that took me like 2 days to get everything together. That's why I'm like half dead. So
yeah, but it's really cool to see like there's actually a lot like on the schedule, and yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I think that's why DoubleJump is probably going to be the best online school. Well, that's what we're trying to do. Be the best online school with the best community on the planet. You know, that's the goal. Otherwise, there's no point in doing this. And we are really we are trying to push the quality bar with all of these workshops. So, and we are reinvesting a lot of our money, like all of our profits. Obviously, we need to pay salaries and we need to pay royalties to all the instructors, but then we also need to reinvest in terms of hiring the animators and doing, it's just like into everything, right? Like workshops or the website or marketing. Like there's so much money that goes back into the business. But we're trying our best.
I think so. And I hope it shows. So I hope everyone's excited and we have a killer 2026 and we can keep doing this for a while.
Yeah. Talking about AI.
Uh-oh.
I know a lot of people like there was a new model that came out, I think Runway 4.5, and some people were like, well, I guess that's it. You know, like video, all filmmaking and CGI and VFX is all going to be done with a few prompts. Like every project that I've been involved so far with Crispy Chicken and the one we're bidding on right now and doing tests, you couldn't do any, like not a single scene you wouldn't be able to do with any of the latest, best, greatest AI models. You just cannot do it because it's too specific. It wouldn't work. It would look janky. No one in any studio, unless they're producing Coca-Cola commercials that are absolute ass and garbage, and all of those freaking AI studios that are literally producing just like garbage work. If you want to do that quality, yes, you can do it. But anything that's actually special and something that will actually move the audience and will have like a lasting impact and that you will be proud of, it doesn't even come close. So that's why we keep pushing and creating these workshops, because I have one of my foot is in the industry, the other one is producing workshops and working at DoubleJump. So I know what is the pulse of the industry and how it looks like. So I know some people are were scared, but I think everybody's seeing now that these AI things are not really going to replace a lot of these jobs, because they don't work. Sure, rotoscoping, like machine learning algorithms, tracking, stuff like that, like anything that's machine learned and powered by some of these AI algorithms, I think that's going to be great. Like, so kind of like tedious tasks. I think all of that will eventually get replaced. But we're doing some magical effects right now, and it's just like, there's no way. Just no way.
Eventually, if things go the way we see in film and things like that, or just that a logical event chain, AI will be able to make whatever it wants to make. But the problem is, once you do that a few times, like if you're like, okay, like make this movie for me, there's no satisfaction at all in doing that, because you're doing nothing. You're literally doing nothing. And that's like, as human beings, we like to, I won't speak for everybody, but we like to create things, right? And that takes time.
Process.
And that,
it's the process.
It's the process that actually imbues value into things. And if you're just hitting keys and saying like, hey, do this for me, it'll get old really quick. Like you will have zero satisfaction in your life. And it's just, you know, we're always going to make things, and it might be able to, the ideal would be is if we can make them a little faster. That would be kind of cool. We could get workshops done faster and things like that, but the human input still needs to be there, and it can't just be typing a prompt.
And it also doesn't work.
Not yet. I'm saying like in 10 years, I'm sure it'll be pretty cool. But again, it's going to be like, who cares? Like people and the audience will dictate that. Like if Netflix is getting 0 streams on an AI created movie, they're not going to do it anymore. Like,
do you know what's I don't know, Gen Z or whatever the youngest generation is now? You know what their lingo is? So like if you were saying something that's not true, they would say that's AI. That's like slang now for saying,
oh, is it? Okay.
I don't believe you, or that's fake. They say, oh, that's AI.
Got it. So if somebody ever says what I say is AI, I should take offense to it.
Yes, because it means that they don't trust you.
Okay, got it.
So that's I'm just saying I'm cool like that. I'm with the, you know.
Yeah, you're with the cool lingo. Kids. Not me. I'm just in a box. That's just making workshops.
But it's funny that they use it like that. Anyway, I don't want to get too deep. I actually did a podcast with the School of Motion guys recently, and I went on a 45 minutes rant about all of this AI thing. And we might upload like the full unhinged version of me.
Yeah.
Just like not just shitting on everything, but just logically going through it and giving like good comparisons and reasons why I think it's not a thing to pursue. You know, but Q&A. Oh yeah, Q&A. Do we have any questions? It's been 2 hours. So if you guys have questions, let us know in the chat.
And some of our meetings last that like we try to meet, you know, a couple times a week, and sometimes our meetings they last, you know, hours, which is it's exhausting as well. It's a lot of work, and it's not just a lot of work, but it's so many different departments that we have to do, right? So it's like producing, directing, writing the script, then we do the promo, then we need to work with the instructors so they record themselves. In a lot of cases, they don't know how to talk in front of a camera, they don't know how to light the shots. So then we need to edit the thing, we need to market the thing. Ava needs to make all the graphics and a new landing page, and then we need to upload all the videos, compress all the videos. We need to do a webinar. We need to do multiple versions of the promo. And for each workshop, and you saw how many workshops Rod was going through, and then there's like a lot of miscellaneous million of other problems, and that's just for one workshop, right? So each time that we meet, which is like twice per week, we have a call, like a production call, and it's like 2 hours long because there's like so many things that we have to go through and fix and correct or address. And we have a system. Like I said, I created like a full wiki, which is literally step by step how to make a workshop. It's like it should be a bulletproof system, but each instructor is different. So we have to adjust. There's no real single system. No, it's not cookie cutter.
It's not a cookie cutter. Yeah.
You try to start as cookie cutter, but then there's different personalities, and sometimes even third parties can be an issue, right? Like softwares or whatever. So but there are a couple questions. One is an animation, stylized animation. Animation is very tough. Urban has been pushing me to do an animation course, but every time I ask an instructor, they are hesitant because there's a lot of feedback that's needed. So we would essentially, if we do an animation course, we either take a gamble with not only our time, but the instructor's time, and we release it as a pre-recorded one, which is tough because these animation workshops need feedback and a lot of it, and almost like, I would say close to live. So you would have to meet like a normal course, because it's a lot of work. You know, you're like, oh, I need you to move this or move this keyframe here, do this, do that. And you can't really do that in a Discord chat. So if you guys want, I mean, maybe we could do a vote. And if you guys are okay with an animation course being pre-recorded, then that would give me enough ammo to go and, you know, spend the resources to do that. Otherwise, animation is, it's tough without doing like an FX Masters type course. And those are, you know, those aren't cheap. So I think we've got double-digit number of students in that right now, and Bryce has his hands full, and he's doing it. They're all doing some cool stuff, but yeah, it's just tough for the animation stuff. Let's see the other one. Educate. Can we offer? The only way we can offer education licenses is if we bundle them with, like, if you buy a workshop like we do with Houdini and we do with the Chaos stuff now and Nuke. If you want education licenses from other softwares, it's tough. Like, I know Autodesk has a lot of programs under their banner, but if anybody from Autodesk is listening, reach out to me, because I can't get a hold of you guys. It's tough to get a hold of some of these people. So I guess the short answer is, yeah, we would love to offer education licenses for everything we do, but some companies are more difficult to get in touch with than others.
Yeah.
And can you offer education license? Corbin. Yeah, Corbin will be with us as long as he wants to be. I mean, he's great. We would love it if he makes all the workshops. I mean, he's amazing. So I think with film effects, that one is almost, we just need to get the lighting and comp done for Obscurus, and then we need to do the DLC for the Legendary, and then that one will be wrapped. The Vex Python course is technically a living course, so he has other setups that are always kind of, you know, running around in his head, and he'll update that as he can. He's actually, I think he's got 3 projects right now that he's souping, and so he's just slammed. It's amazing. He can even, you know, answer some of my questions. He's just a really busy guy. So yeah, Corbin he's great. What else we got? I think there's one for Urban.
The crispy chicken one.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, I talked about it at the beginning, but yeah, we finished 3 big commercial projects already, and we're now doing a test for a really big cinematic with one of the best and biggest studios. So if we get that, we're gonna be busy for the foreseeable future. I'm hiring people. Like, I'm literally talking to a few people right now, because we need more guys to tackle on this full cinematic. So like I said at the beginning, the reason why I opened Crispy Chicken is because I was asked constantly to do freelance work. So I would be, just me personally, I would be booked throughout the whole year if I wanted to. And I was saying no all the time, because I was like, well, I'm running DoubleJump. I can't really take freelance work. So, but then as you start knowing people, you start trusting them. And so it's funny enough, when we were doing the Ultimate Explosions workshop, our channel with all the guys was called the Crispy Chicken channel. So my Crispy Chicken guys were working on the Ultimate Explosion workshop, and those are the guys that I trust. So we started working on these commercial projects. Hence, we created the Crispy Chicken VFX studio. So yeah, we're kind of fully booked for a lot of the effects, and I'm searching and looking for 2 or 3 senior VFX artists who can do magical effects. So yeah, it's a success already. It's definitely working.
Let's see. Curious question. What was the idea? Yeah, behind the design of the web page. I think that's Eva and or Urban. The Steam is obviously they're very successful, so they're a big reference for us. But and Steam, Eva's design skills too. So
yeah, we went through a few iterations, and we were trying to make it as simple and easy to buy workshops. And obviously these gaming platforms like Steam or Xbox or whatever the other, or Blizzard, yeah, they like the Battle.net, right? Battle.net also has a very similar UI to Steam. So once you go into UX and UI, you start reverse engineering. Why does it work, right? And it's because of the colors, the shapes, the way you guide the customer. So it obviously works. That's why they're using it. So we were trying to at least replicate the user experience in that way.
Junior, do you have any suggestions? Junior, what should they focus on, especially for those who have 1 to 3 years experience? So for me, like that's kind of one of the hats that I wear too, is almost like a recruiter, because I have to, like, when I'm looking for instructors, I need to see certain things. So if that was my full-time job, I would be looking for reels that are not only like, hey, what did you work on in this Marvel movie that had 1,000 VFX artists? Okay, that's great. But I want to see like your personal projects, because that really shows what you are capable of. And that's where workshops come into play and things like that. So you take a workshop, you learn from it, and then you apply that knowledge to a personal project. What I don't want to see is a complete recreation of a workshop, because that only shows me that you can follow a workshop. And that's from my personal experience. You know, at the beginning of this, I'm sure we're going to post this on YouTube, but at the beginning of this, I talked about my journey, and that's what I was trying to do, is make my own shots. And that's really where I learned the most, because I didn't have somebody to hold my hand, and it sucked. And you're cussing at the computer, you're pissed because your setups aren't working. And then when you, again, this goes back to the AI thing, when you actually get it to work, it's that satisfaction is, you can't, if we could bottle and sell that, we would be millionaires, like billionaires.
It's honestly, you get addicted to Houdini.
Solving the problems. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, it's so hard for me. Like, yeah, like you get addicted to solving problems. Yeah.
So that's what I would say is do your own stuff, make it as good as you can, always push yourself. That's what's going to get you noticed. Like the personal project, like Ahmed did the avatar project, and after that, his phone wouldn't stop ringing. So just make cool stuff. That's really the big thing.
And just make one cool stuff.
Well, yeah. You don't have to spend 16 years and then you decide to go in.
Yeah. Just do one project that is on a high level. It can be a 5-second, 10-second, whatever. Just one. You don't need a 2-minute showreel. Just one project at a high level of quality, and you will be hired. 100%.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there also?
There's a good one for a course on how to build a successful freelance outsourced studio business. I think I would be a good person to do that workshop. I've done a lot of studio work. I did a lot of freelance work. I was supervising projects, for Blizzard, for these kind of big studios when I was working at Access. And now I opened a studio. So I think I would have, I know a thing or two on that topic. And Eva has been telling me that I should do a workshop on that. Maybe I'll do it. I do think I have some valuable things to say, but honestly, yeah, it would be like an hour, maybe 2 hours long course.
Yeah. Mitch is he's a freelancer, and he's gonna cover like some of the freelance stuff in his workshop as well. So even if you might not be a Cinema 4D guy, it's still going to be a good one to see how a working freelancer gets gigs and maintains clients. Because he has a wife, he has kids, he's got to keep work coming in. So he'll go over some of that stuff.
The reason why it's hard to do a workshop like that. A lot of people, when they do a business workshop, they're like, oh, here's my spreadsheet, how to do bids and calculations. That doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
That stuff is like, it's so secondary. What is actually important is how it's your charisma. Are you a good team player? Can you go on a call and you hop on? I literally did this like last week. I went on a call, big studio, 5 people in the call, right? CG Soups with a lot of years of experience, worked on the biggest projects, AAA cinematics. Can you work your way around in that environment? But that's not something I can teach. That's the issue. You know, that's something that takes 10 years of experience, and you need to fail forward. You need to go on a few calls like that and completely fail. And then after you do it 10 times, and after you have like a lot of meetings with clients and customers, and you become comfortable explaining things, and your charisma, needs to shine. You need to be a bit funny. It needs to show that you're not scared in the call. Those are things I can't teach. That's why it's hard doing a workshop like that, because I feel like that's 50% of the work, and then the other 50 is, can you actually do the project? Can you actually do like effects or animation or whatever artistic role they're hiring you for? That's pretty much it. All the spreadsheets or how do you bid and that it's not that important. Like you figure that out along the way. That's why I was like, I don't even know how I would form a workshop like that, because it would just be me saying, just get better at talking and be a more charismatic person. And I don't know how to teach that. There's a good workshop. It's called From the Future, from Chris Do. He has like a business masterclass that I took years ago. And he talks a bit about that and how to negotiate with clients. That's another one. But how, like, the way to negotiate with people is just like, you just need to be confident and charismatic. I also read quite a few books on negotiating. I practiced a lot with negotiating. Me and Eva, we sometimes did role plays on. I even had friends over, like back when I was still in Slovenia. We literally, a few friends came over and we had role plays. Like if I was the customer and they were the client, and vice versa, and you literally just role play, which is you just exercise. It's like you need to put the reps in order to become good at something, and I don't know how to teach it. The best way I would say is just go on a lot of calls and fail a lot, and that's great. And after you fail a lot, you will learn how to do it, and there's no real substitute. It's not like in Houdini where I can actually show the recipe, or like, with cooking, right? You can show the recipe and you repeat it. This is just like, you literally need to practice, and you need to be a good speaker, and that's literally half of the work. So that's why I don't know how to do a workshop on freelancing.
Well, my answer it's very simple. Go get a job in sales. That's it. Everything he just said right there. And you won't be like, shooting yourself in the foot and losing clients that way by getting your reps in there. But go get a job in sales for a few months, and you'll very quickly learn the skills that you need to communicate with people. And
that's it.
And,
well,
yeah. You got to sell yourself, essentially.
What's his first name? Buffett.
Warren
Buffett. Yeah. If you guys don't know him, check him out. You should know him. He has like an interview where he says he was a very shy person. He didn't know how to present. He was very nervous when he was presenting something in front of people. I used to be like that as well. But now I can do these webinars and present completely freely and talk to clients. It just took a lot of years and a lot of practice. What he did was it's exactly what Rod said. He actually took a course at one of the universities on just how to do presentations and how to communicate. And he said that was by far the most beneficial and like the biggest return on investment he did in his career, was develop the skill to communicate. That was it. And he's a multi-billionaire now. But he attributes his success to knowing how to speak. So if it worked for Warren Buffett, it's going to work for you as well. And the other thing is you need to become good with not marketing, but and not even social media. You need to create a personal brand online. That really helps. So you need to either be really good when you post your work and everybody's just like clapping. But if you're really good and you know how to speak and you do these tutorials or pro tips or whatever, you do a podcast, you know, if you look at someone like Ash Thorpe, he started a podcast. Everybody started to know who Ash Thorpe is through the podcast. He also does amazing work. And then because he was doing podcasts with a lot of amazing artists, everybody then knows you. And then you do a few presentations and you go on, like I did. I went on GDC, SIGGRAPH, FMX. I did a lot of these public presentations. People start to notice you. They know you. They trust you. And that's why people call me all the time. And I was literally every week I had to say no to a gig. That's it. It's a lot of work, but that's it. That's the formula. That's the workshop.
For free. There you go.
Yeah, that's it. But it's just a lot of reps and fail forward fast. That's I always say that it's the core of how I function as a human being. You need to fail, but you need to be comfortable with failing. And even if you fail and you lose a client and you mess up, you learn something from it. So on the next try, you're going to be better. And you have to do it. That's it. That was my TED talk.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any more actual questions, so.
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm a bit tired. It's freaking.
Yeah, I got a
9
call
PM
coming
here.
up too.
Yeah, Rod needs to work. He's on the. Forgot the expression.
On the clock.
Yeah, you're on the clock. Yeah. Cool, guys. Well, I hope this was educational. I hope you saw, like I said, the point was that you see how we function at DoubleJump, the work that goes in, that, you know, it's like there is quite a bit of stuff that goes into creating a workshop. And we didn't even talk about working with instructors because there's no time. Maybe that's for a part 2 of this. And we can maybe we could actually have one of the instructors on here and we can talk, like for instance, Grayson, right, would be a good one to talk to, how he records and how it is from his side working with us.
Yeah, you can do that with the webinar with his workshop.
Yeah, which is coming very soon.
Yep, this month.
Are we really?
Yeah, we're releasing it this month. No, this month.
This one?
Yes.
That's cool.
Next month is the Avatar one. That'll start us off in 2026.
Ah, cool. All right, cool, guys. Thanks for your time. Like, I hope this was educational and that or entertaining in some way.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks to Rod and Eva for joining this time. It was fun. We should do more of these, just more like company updates, I think. So they're not 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All good.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks again.
Bye.
See ya.